We begin tonight with Manus Island. Questions are being raised about New Zealand's refugee vetting process following the release of a report claiming some Manus Island detainees were involved in drug dealing and also involved in sexual activity with underage girls. Now, New Zealand's offer to take 150 Manus Island men is still on the table, and the government has also pledged $3 million towards their care. But details of a report published in today's Australian Financial Review claim some asylum seekers travelled out of the centre to engage children in sexual activity. Now, John Haller has spent the past 4 years working at Manus Island. Prior to that, he worked for 20 years as a prison guard. Mr. Haller said it was well known within the camp that detainees regularly visited a brothel in the nearby town of Lorengau. He told me a bus service was provided for refugees to travel from the detention centre into town every day, and they had money to spend.
The gates were open, they were allowed to wander wherever they liked, except in certain areas where the Navy was, and that was, it's Navy base, so they couldn't go too far around that area itself. But we had buses that run probably 6 trips a day, 6 to 9 trips a day, go in, drop them off, come back, pick them up. That was part of the open centre policy. So these guys could just jump on a bus, go into town. Some of them would go in just for the day, some would go in for weeks. They could just come and go as they pleased. A lot of these guys have parents back at home that will send them money. Money was no object. It was just the gambling tables and everything else that were there. And there was thousands, and literally thousands upon thousands of dollars sitting on tables. Money in there was just, it was right.
Again, do you have evidence? Did you see and witness any of that stuff?
Oh, yeah. It happened every night, especially your money on the card tables and everything else like that. There was just thousands of it. You're looking at stacks.
So you were looking, you saw stacks of money on card tables? Yep.
Before the money came out, there was cigarettes. You could stand there, there would be 50, 60 packets of cigarettes sitting on the table.
Well, John Haller said that while he was there were supposed to be 65 security guards on the ground in the camp at all times. But he says that sometimes there are as few as 25 guards, and it would not be unusual for them to be surrounded by agitated refugees.
They made a lot of threats of violence through the fence and everything else like that, and it wasn't until our actual emergency response group kitted up and actually moved in there that sort of we got that situation under control. But the guys were, belted and thumped and kicked and everything else like that in the process of doing it. We had quite a few incidents of them rushing, like the Sallyport area, which is sort of where our officers' station were and everything else like that. And they'd come out and start on different officers and everything else like that. We had a guy that was just about scalped one night, and 3 others were beaten, and a couple were knocked out trying to assist him.
So what do you mean scalped? That they attacked his head and what? They
attacked him and hit him over the head with it was a rod anyway of some sort, and it split a big patch of his head, just ripped it clean off. I can't say how many stitches he had or anything else like that. I know he had quite a few, but it just sort of clean ripped the skin off his head, and then you could see his skull.
In terms of how often this happened, what would you describe the level of these incidents as? Are you talking about half a dozen a day or more, or what sort of magnitude are we talking here?
On an average, you could be I mean, it all depended on the day more than anything else like that. Some days you'd have anywhere up to 10. Some days you'd have 2. It all just depended. But, you know, on an average, you're probably looking 6, 7, 8 a day.
So what is your advice to New Zealand about its offer to accept 150 or up to 150 of these former detainees?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So that's the Manus Island security guard John Haller. He left Manus Island when the detention centre was decommissioned at the end of October. Now, we wanted to know about the refugee vetting process. We asked the Immigration Minister, Ian Lees-Galloway, for an interview today. He declined, as did the Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. So we went to former Immigration Minister, National MP Michael Woodhouse, who, with then Prime Minister John Key, initiated the offer to take Manus Island refugees in 2013. Now, he also declined to be interviewed.